Hi there. My goal today is to talk about a feature that you can find in the advanced settings section, and it's called Start Countdown Upon Activation. Right now, I'm on the page where you would normally create new license keys, and if you scroll down, you'll find the feature that we're going to discuss today. So this is based on an existing article that we have in our help pages, and I'd like to start off with one use case where it can be useful. And the first one, so let's suppose that if we go back to the product. So let's suppose that you have a time limited license. In this case, we've issued it the 22nd of April, and normally when you create a new license that is time limited, the countdown will start from the date when the license was created. However, this can be very problematic if you, for example, anticipate that, or let's suppose that you want to pre-generate a list of licenses, but you don't really know when your customer will activate it. So let's suppose that it's a time-limited license for 30 days. Then let's say they activate the license in a month. Then you want to make sure that they can use the license for 30 days from the date of activation and not from the date when the license was created. So this is where this feature would be useful. So you'll then go on here, create new key, and you would set Start Countdown Upon Activation. You would enable that feature and you would click on Create. So to demonstrate how it works, I'll use an existing license that I have issued roughly a month ago since we recorded this video. And let's go on the details page here and then enable trial activation. So trial activation and Start Countdown Upon Activation, it refers to the same feature. Let's also set that this license is limited to one device, so only one device can activate it. And let's refresh. So let's see. So this license, it was issued a month ago, roughly. No, 2 months ago, roughly. And then it will expire 2025, 22nd of April. Now, let's suppose now if we want to simulate what happens if we activate this license the 6th of June instead. So I'll just type a random machine code, add, and then let's see what happens. So this is a license to be activated. And as you can see, so the creation date, that stays the same, but the license has been updated to make sure that they have 365 days, so the initial period that you set, to try or to use that license. So it will automatically extend it for the missing, I believe it's 1.5 months. So that was a quick demonstration of how this feature works. And now I would like to cover a more advanced use case. So we've covered the case where a license has maximum number of machines set to 1. However, what if we have a use case where you have limited it to more than one machine? For example, let's suppose it's limited to 2 machines, as an example. The normal way this method would work is that each time a new activation occurs, so let's suppose I've activated here, if we go back to the list of machines, I've activated machine test, and then I will activate, in a while, I'll activate machine test 2 as an example. Then if this feature is enabled, it would push the expiration date further. So it would always make sure that the last activation, the last device that has activated will have the set amount of time that you have specified to use the license. So in this case, it would be, I think it was 365 days. So to keep pushing that until no more new machines have been activated. However, this might not be ideal, especially if you want the time limit to be set only for the first activation, and then next activations will not affect it. They will not extend the license further. And this can be done by setting a data object in the product settings. So if we just go to this article here, you would have to create a new data object called Cryptolens trial activation. Copy it. Then we will go to data objects, and we'll put it to trial activation. and then just copy. So set the first activation to be the string value, and you would and then this would basically make sure that it will not keep pushing the expiration date further each time a new machine activates. So just to sum up what we've talked about. So normally, let's suppose that you have a time-limited license, or like you're selling subscriptions. By default, when you create a license, that's the date. So from that date, the countdown or the time limit will start. So if we go back to the product, from the date of 22nd of April, that's when the time limit will start. So the day when the license is created. However, let's suppose that you want to pre-generate licenses, for example, create a list of licenses for that are printed somewhere or and stored, and you would like this time limit to start from the date when they first activate their license. Then you can use this feature. When you create a license, you could set this start countdown upon activation to enable that feature, and that will make sure that they will always have the set period that you've defined, in this case 365 days from the first time that they activate it. And then we also talked about the case that where, for example, in the default case, when maximum number of machines was set to 1, but let's suppose that you set this to something that's greater than 1, then there's a way of affecting the behavior of how this method works. By default, it will extend the expiration date for each new device that activates up to the limit. However, if you want to prevent this from happening, you can create a new data object, as we discussed in the data object section here. That will change the way this method works. So thank you so much for watching, and please let us know should you have any questions.